Hello, everybody. It's my privilege to introduce to you, all the way from the south side of Chicago, the man, the myth, the legend, my Theo, your brother, the South Side Unicorn.
Hey, everybody, that's right. It's me, Ken White, host of the Southside Unicorn Show. And let me just start off with some love to El Presidente. Ooh, good job, my man. Good job, my president. Good job. I am so happy that he told, or should I say, suggested to Israel that they do not allow Ilhan Omar and, Rashida Tlaib into their world. We're the ones being clowns, okay? And I'm serious about that. This political correctness, this cowardice, or whatever it is that we've been about for the last 10, 12 years is wrong. President Trump is doing it right. Them two women are enemies. And until we have the courage to begin to accept that, they're going to be calling the shots. And it's time that we stop that altogether. You know when you being clowned, it's just like somebody just, trying to clown you up. Be like, you not letting me get through that door. Look at this man. He's not letting me in this door. He's such a misogynist. He's such a whatever. And then you decide to be like, ma'am, I didn't know I was blocking you from that door. And considering that I'm a decent man, I'm going to go and get up out the way. You go and walk through that door. Psst, never mind. That's what Tlaib did to Israel. Talking about, I want to see my grandmama. Who the hell you fooling? You guys be throwing your grandmamas and kids in front of bombs. Okay? And until we can accept what I just said as the truth, they're going to keep on clowning us. So I wanted, I had to start the show off like that. Much props, much love to President Donald J. Trump. Now, yes, the max we're going to get out the man is 8 years. But it's going to be a damn good 8 years if we squeeze it for everything it's worth. Don't let nobody call you racist. Don't let nobody say you hating. Don't let nobody say that you are, anti-Semite or Nazi or any of that. We know better. Them people crazy. And it's enough of them. I'm tired of it, ladies and gentlemen. Aren't you? I'm tired of it. I'm tired of talking nice. I'm tired of skipping it around. InfoWars or whatever. Okay, maybe they were a little bit over the top. Maybe there's a lot of people that go over the top. I'm not going to go over the top. But I am going to open my mouth and speak the truth. Got some truth for you right now. Take a listen. Now, you got this woman, Kamala Harris running around. Oh, I missed it. I'm so sad about the kid, the little 11-year-old girl that they showing us on TV because, ICE went and scooped up a whole bunch of people that had no business being here in the first damn place. And so Kamala Harris, the first thing and the best thing she can do is start whining about how much she's sad about that 11-year-old girl that they keep showing on TV. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. I'm sorry about the little girl. I really am. But at the same time, if they had followed the law, if Kamala Harris had done her job, none of this would be happening because President Donald J. Trump went to the Democrats and said, look at here, I need your help fixing this jacked up immigration law and we need a wall. I mean, they fought the guy over $5 billion and then turned around and gave the Mexicans $5 billion. I mean, these people, man, come on, they fouling. The Democrats are done. If America has its head together, the Democrats are done. But now, let me try to get into this story with you because I believe in, giving you guys that information that you otherwise would not get and giving it to you unicorn style. So check this out. She's over there whining about this 11-year-old girl. And in Chicago, teens, including 3 siblings, allegedly told investigators that they came to Lake County to commit burglaries. Now they're charged with murder and a botched car theft. That's right. Because one of the 14-year-olds got blown away by the homeowner. They're going to come rolling, because I guess opportunities are drying up in Chicago. The hustle is getting weak. So now they're branching out. Or maybe they just go into some of the communities that they understand are enabling them to kill each other up there in the hood. Because see, in Calumet and all of that, that's where a lot of brothers be going to get their Mohaskis, their heaters, their straps. You know, because Chicago's got some of the most stringent gun laws you ever want to see. But the brothers still keep coming with the guns. You know, maybe it's because of, you know, the white man in the outlying communities selling them the guns. Yeah, that's right, I said it, because that's real. That's where these young kids got the idea to go into the suburbs to go boost some stuff. Okay? And this law that they're using against the teenagers, it was used before because, see, this guy was selling guns to these two brothers. They come up to the house. He trying to sell them the straps. They going to break out a hammer, right? This is an earlier story, not the one I'm getting ready to try to tell you about. They're going to break out a hammer and try to beat this dude down and get the gun. Now, I'm trying to tell you, criminals ain't the brightest people in the world because, okay, you trying to go buy a gun and you figure you going to gaffle him for the gun with a hammer? Oh, he bust caps. Pop, pop, pop. You know, dropped them out. And so there's this strange law in Illinois that says that if somebody dies in the commission of a crime, you're going to do some time. You know, just like with Beretta. Remember that old TV series? Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Yeah. Don't do it. So I'm going to try to read this to you. Teens from Chicago charged with murder after a 14-year-old was shot and killed by a homeowner with a gun, investigators were told, and had stolen a vehicle in the past. I'm telling you, I try to read these stories to you guys, man, but these writers and stuff are just awful. I'm going to just start paraphrasing anymore because I'm trying to tell you how these people are collecting the check is a mystery to me. 5 Chicago teens, including 4 juveniles, were charged as adults, face charges after the fatal shooting at a home of a 75-year-old licensed gun owner who heard people on his property after 1 a.m. on Tuesday night and thought they were trying to steal his Audi. Illinois law allows for authorities to charge suspects with murder if someone dies during the commission of another serious crime. The uncle, Betts is the uncle of the young man that's deceased, and he was like, saying that the young man didn't even have a chance. He was shot down like a dog over, a car. Man, look, I don't understand you adults. When the young people die, you always got something to say. Now, you gonna sit there, uncle, saying that this young man didn't have a father figure. Well, you're his father figure. I had my mother's brother. I had both my mother's brothers until one of them, lost his life in a mysterious situation. I'll talk to you about that on another show. But, I had tons of male figures in my life. And they handled business, too. Because if they saw us getting out of hand, or should I say out of pocket, they handled, they come at you. So I'm really sorry this young man is dead. But, Uncle Betts is saying he didn't have a chance. He was shot down like a dog. Excuse me? I'm thinking about the 75-year-old homeowner minding his own business, asleep in his home at 1 a.m. Ain't nobody supposed to be coming up on your property at 1 a.m. Okay? So he's supposed to know that these 5 hoodlums is just coming on his property to, have a leisurely stroll. Oh, we just here to take your car, Pops. Don't worry about it. No. He's supposed to do just what he did. Blaze on, till a jerry curl is gone. Am I happy this 14-year-old is dead? No. But I am, as the Southside Unicorn, going to bring this information to y'all. Think about that. While Kamala Harris is crying alligator tears over an 11-year-old who's slightly inconvenienced because she going to get reunited with her mama and daddy. It's going to happen. Is it going to take a little while? Of course it will. How many people's children are languishing away in our CPS, Child Protective Services? How many of their children are languishing away right now? This is getting out of hand. The Democrats are crazy. In fact, she created this situation. All Democrats created this situation because they're in charge of these cities. They've been in charge of these cities for generations, and they ain't done a damn thing. So now here these young people are scurrying out into other people's communities, Just like, like when you have a looting or a riot and your grocery store gets burnt down. So now you got to go 20 miles the other way into somebody else's community and go shopping at their store. And then you get mad because they're looking at you funny. But you got the smell of smoke on you. Come on, man. This thing is nuts. This is nuts. How about Miss Harris, Miss Triple Threat, the new mayor of Chicago, and I affectionately call her Triple Threat. I'll explain that one day if you didn't figure it out. But how about y'all start worrying about what's happening in these inner cities so that these young people don't get, shot down like that, like young Curtis Dawson, age 16. Oh, he going to be doing a 20-year stretch. Stephen Davis, age 17. He going to be doing a 20-year stretch. Stacey Davis, age 17. He going to be doing a 20-year stretch. Kendrick Cooper, age 17. He going to be doing a 20-year stretch. Lives ruined, gone, and a 14-year-old baby shot. And that old man, 75 years old, he gonna have to live with that. Do you think he wanted to shoot that kid? No, I doubt it very seriously. But now he's got blood on his hands of a baby because they out here wilding and doing crazy foolishness because the Democrats won't do their job. We're gonna have to make sure that the job gets done without them. Come 2020, we better make damn sure that President Donald J. Trump goes back again. Again. He's the best thing we got rolling right now. We better make sure that it works that way, The same laws that I'm talking to you about, that's the one that was saying. They use this law all the time. And it's young Browns that are going down. And man, let me tell you something. Illinois don't be playing. They will give you some serious freaking time. So, we gotta get on this, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm glad to bring you these type of shows. That's why you got to listen. Just, listen, spread the word, share it. I'm not knocking my brothers and sisters out there doing the shows in other ways. I'm glad they're out there. I'm offering you that other stuff because even they will tell you we all have a job to do. We got to get that word out there. We got to speak truth to the issues. Well, this is Kenny White, Southside Unicorn. I'm speaking truth to the issues, and I'm bringing you that other story. Bringing it to you from another angle is what I'm trying to do. And look, please share, like, retweet, and donate, man. Come on. I mean, I don't want to be sounding like some beggar with some hat in my hand. Go ahead and drop a couple dimes so that this thing can get stronger and keep on pushing and get that word out there. We got 14 months to get this thing right, and we better get it right. So this is me, Ken White, Southside Unicorn, and we're going to take a station break, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Hi, Joy Villa here, reminding you to tune in to the Southside Unicorn Show, hosted by my friend Ken White.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for staying with the show, and we are back and into the second segment. Now, the title of this show is Legislation from the NFL. We're going to get to it. You know how I do it. That fourth segment will bring it all together. But look at here, man. If this doesn't wake you up to what's really going on, I don't know what else will. These people are intractable. Those who have hijacked the Democrat Party, those who are in the Democrat Party and down for this, New World Order and all that stuff. These people are not playing. So why the hell are we? Do you feel your life in your hands? Do you look at your grandchildren and feel anything? Nothing's moving in you, right? Oh, it's going to get passed down to the next person. Oh, this ain't happening like that. Oh, it's all going to straighten itself out. It'll all be okay in the morning. No, it's not, ladies and gentlemen. It's only going to be all right if we start to get mobile, if we start to handle business. When I ask you guys for donations, I'm not asking for no damn handout. I'm telling you, you need to empower those of us who are the big drills, the diamond drills, who are going into these situations and handling business. Because what they're trying to do is punk us all out, make us all back up. They're going to use every hook, crook, and cheat come 2020 and every little sly, sneaky mofo they can find to do corrupt stuff at the ballot box. And you're going to look up and go, how did Trump lose? How did it happen? Because you just sitting there. That's how it happened. Do I sound a little salty right now? A little bit, because I see this thing from a different way, and I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm everywhere trying to wake everybody up to what the hell these people are doing. You know, it's like I always said when I was at the first annual Blexit in Los Angeles, and Fleckis did a interview with all of us, and I said in the interview, I said, I'm like Blade, you know, when it comes to Democrats. I have all of the Democrats' strengths, but none of their weaknesses, which means I know their game plan. I could have been one of them. My God. You know, you got Tatum, you know, Officer Tatum and, you know, Candace Owens and all these people. And all that's nice. But they were once Democrats. Don't ever forget that. And the funny part about that is, and I'm not talking bad about them, I'm just telling you what's real. They brought part of that mindset with them. They still got a little bit of it in them. Just because they had an epiphany and realized that the Democrat Party is all bogus, that didn't just totally rinse them down and transform them. They still slightly operating from an angle. I'm a pureblood. I've been a Republican all my life. I had to grow up on the south side of Chicago as a Republican at 9 years old, 10 years old, watching this stuff go down, knowing in my heart and soul something wasn't right. And then it clicked. It's these people in charge. Somehow God hardwired me, and I came here with that in my mind and in my heart, and I'm right. 40 years later, I look up, and I'm right. It's Democrats. It's Democrats just like the ones in Baltimore, just like the ones in Chicago, just like the ones in Los Angeles. And now, let me bring you up to speed on what they're getting ready to try to do now. Do you remember what happened with Kavanaugh? Do you remember how bad they treated Kavanaugh? Man, they worked Kavanaugh over. The stuff that Kamala Harris and Cory Booker and all those people did to that man, woo-wee. Come election time, they have got to replay those videos. They got to replay them because there's a thing called human decency. These people ain't playing from that. You know, just like Mazie from Hawaii, Senator Mazie McConnell, whatever her name is. You know, that woman is cray-cray. She's crazy as hell. And got a foul mouth and a foul heart. That's the truth. So check this out. They didn't like the way the Supreme Court's been going lately because Donald J. Trump got to do something historic. He has been putting people in office in these courtrooms that should end forever, or at least in our lifetime and our children's lifetime, these people legislating from the bench. How many times do we get to see our politicians, our duly elected politicians, get overruled by some cat wearing a black robe? That's how they do it. That's how they get down anymore. The president makes a decision, and the next thing you know, some cat from the Ninth Circuit, and they like to call it the Ninth Circus, you know, here he comes, objection, slamming his gavel down, and we got to get down with that. So Donald J. Trump has been afforded an awesome opportunity. He has been able to transmogrify the Supreme Court, and he's working on all the different circuit courts as well. So what did the Democrats do? I tell you what they did. Several high-profile Senate Democrats warned the Supreme Court in pointed terms this week that it could face a fundamental restructuring if justice do not take steps to, air quotations, heal the court in the near future. That is a direct threat to our Supreme Court. And they go on to continue to say, you know, the ominous and unusual warning was delivered as a part of a brief filed Monday in a case related to the New York City gun law. Senators Sheldon Whitehouse, a Democrat, Rhode Island, Richard Blumenthal, Democrat, Connecticut, Mazie Hirono, and I call her Crazy Mazie, from Democrat from Hawaii, Richard Durbin, you know, Democrat from Illinois, and Kirsten Gillibrand, Democrat from New York, ran for his rulings by the court's conservative majority in claiming, now get this, because they don't like the ruling, this is what they say, the court is suffering from some sort of affliction that must be remedied. Did you hear that? That's a direct threat. Whatever happened to what we used to be, which was a country of laws, we had our elections, and being good sports, being good citizens, we went along with it. I'm telling you something. Because of the way they're behaving, because of the way they're acting, they're pissing me off. I put up with Obama for 8 years. Did I write some stuff about him? Of course I did. I called him the Sardinian swordsman because that's who he is. I called him a liar because that's who he is. I called him an unpatriotic person whose whole heart is to destroy America as we know it because that's who he is. But I did not try to stop him from being president. I did not one time say he wasn't my president. He is my president, or was, unfortunately. And these people, whenever something pops up that they do not like, oh now, and I got to say it again just so you can hear it. Get this. The courts is suffering from a conservative majority, and thereby it's suffering from some sort of affliction that must be remedied. This is a quote. I got to calm down. Let me get this quote out to you real quick. The Supreme Court is not well, and the people know it, the brief said. Perhaps the court can heal itself before the public demands it be restructured in order to reduce the influence of politics. The influence of politics? Come on. They got people on that Supreme Court right now. Sotomayor has no business being on the Supreme Court. Every decision she makes as a what? Latina. I don't want to go before. I don't want nothing I got to deal with that could ever rise to the Supreme Court going before a woman who sees everything through the eyes of being a quote-unquote Latina. And that's what she said. I'm not making no fun here, people. The woman said it out of her own mouth. I bring something special to the Supreme Court. What I bring is I'm a Latina. No. You're supposed to be a Supreme Court justice. Period. The end. But not her. She's a Latina that's on the Supreme Court. And so they say it's suffering from a political influence. You're damn right it is. That's all you guys have ever done. Think back before Donald J. Trump, what they used to do at the Supreme Court. They'd run stuff up there so fast and be like, the Supreme Court says, but now that it's not swinging in their direction, they want to go ahead and change it. Now, I did some research on this thing. They can actually get away with it, ladies and gentlemen. It can go down that way because of a thing it's called the Judicial Procedures Reform Bill of 1937. FDR used it to force the New Deal because they weren't going to go for it, which we all know the New Deal, it's just as bad as the Green New Deal. It's some bad stuff. History proved it to us that it was jacked up. Who needed the New Deal? But FDR managed to twist the arm of the Supreme Court, and they got it going. They managed to pull it off and make those changes. That is not a good thing. I mean, put it this way, Biden is not with it. Biden says, hey, stacking the court, and they call it stacking because when you pull people out and put who you want in there and then you change the number, it's been 9. The number of Supreme Court justices have been 9 since, I think it's 1869. It's been that way since 1869, people. Now all of a sudden the Democrats want to go messing with the Supreme Court. They want to, go in there and dramatically change some stuff, right? And when you think about what they're trying to do, the only time it ever happened was in 1804. One of the Supreme Court justices got removed, and guess why? Guess why they pulled him up out of there? Because of political bias. Now, isn't it ironic the people who are absolutely politically biased are going to turn around and try to use this very same law against the Supreme Court, claiming that Kavanaugh and everybody else that's a conservative is now biased, and they're going to try to jimmy rig it. So again, you better recognize and realize that 2020, pardon me, I got to calm down. Ooh, take a breath, Kenny, take a breath. Ooh, yum num rimye ko, whatever that was, she said. What was that Tina Turner used to say? Yum num rimye ko. Yeah, they're going to try to flip the script because they're just intractable, ladies and gentlemen. We won the election fair and square. So now what are they going to do? They're going to go around, circumvent, change, undermine anything we do. They're going to just create their alternate legislations, their alternate governance, as if though now the White House and the Supreme Court and all of these things do not and will not matter going forward. They're going to use, the people. And I think that was a really interesting giveaway, in what they said. Let's see, I'll do it one more time just so we can kind of catch the essence of it. This is a quote. The Supreme Court is not well, and the people know it. Do the people really know that? Or is that more of that straw man stuff they're doing? But that's my point, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to try to go with mob rule. They want mob rule. They want to tear down all the tenets, all the canons of America. And the next thing you know, they just want mobs. They want a bunch of Nike clothes wearing, gym shoe packing, Nintendo packing, weed smoking, boneheads running around pouring water on cops, doing all this madness, and nothing about the rule of law will ever matter again. And then Crazy Maisie and all the rest of them can get up on a microphone and say things like, goony goo goo, goony goo goo. And these people are going to be jumping and rolling. They're going to just be doing whatever because they are pre-zombies, people. You see them? You see what's going on? And that's why I keep trying to blow the alarm. I keep trying to tell y'all, we're fighting the wrong war with these people. We're sitting there going, oh, we're just going to go to the rallies and everything's going to be okay and we're going to vote and Trump's going to win. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, these people will be unscrewing every bolt, every light bulb, every door, every socket. They're going to be pulling the whole nation apart around us unless we can see exactly what they're doing and understand exactly what's at stake. We got to get up in this with them and let them understand. At great peril, P-E-R-I-L, at great peril shall you try to steal my country away from me, even though it may look like you're using legitimate sources to do it. So yeah, the Democrats are coming back at the court system. Now, I bet you didn't hear that on the news now, did you? They're coming back at it, and they want to try to undermine it and change it. It's like South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg. I say, booty dance, booty dance, booty dance, booty dance. Pete Buttigieg also supported expanding the court. So you see what's up? All these people that's running on the Democrat side, man, they coming at us. They coming at us to try to do some stuff, expand the court. So they can get extra numbers on there that make the will of the people mean nothing. The rule of law means nothing because you're not on there for popularity. You're on there to interpret the law, period, but not these people, right? Okay, so I want you to retweet, share, donate, like, do all that stuff, get the show on fire. Let's set it off, baby, so the word can get out there and we understand some of the other things that these people are doing. Everybody's doing their part, and I'm doing mine. Ken White, Southside Unicorn, and I'll be right back after these messages.
My name is Toot Sweet, and I'm New York City's original artist, singing for the cause of freedom. I've spent the last 10 years of my life documenting history through my music. It's like a recipe that's blessing me, bringing out the best of me, aggressively testing me to create my own destiny and understanding, universally accepting adversity and learn more lessons in life than you're learning any. And when I'm in need of a dose of reality to escape the liberal land of make-believe, I tune in to the Southside Unicorn, where the truth is as solid as New York City concrete. My name is Toot Sweet, and you're listening to my friend Ken White on the Southside Unicorn, and this party is just getting started.
Hey. We're back for the third segment, and I'm thankful that you're still with me. I'm glad you guys enjoy this show. I enjoy bringing the show to you all, and it comes in so many different styles, every now and then, but it's real, it's tangible, it's the now. You can join. Just go on to Spreaker and become a member. People are doing it every day. We get in there and we do our little conversations. If you look on my Twitter site, which is at Ken White 4444, you'll see all the different links where you can get involved. We have now type of conversations. On the weekends, it's off the hook, people. We're up in there talking about the real stuff. We're not regurgitating stuff that you're hearing on the talking heads and all that. We're having real live conversations. Some people like to say, well, we only bring you the facts. Well, you bring the facts as you know them. That's what you're doing. But when you're dealing with Democrats, when you're dealing with the hood, when you're dealing with people who are so ingenious, and I'm going to tell you the truth, just, some of the illegals, if that's what you want to call them, but some of the people from the Latin Americas are some very ingenious people. They know how to, they know how to twist stuff around and make it happen. You build a wall, they build a ladder, if you know what I'm saying. And that's the mindset that we have to get with if we hope to win this thing. So I just be bringing you stuff, that you need to listen to, catch it in that Q-ism, the Q-ism that I be bringing it. And if you look at each segment, then slam them fools back together, you'll see the bigger picture that will get past their radar, if you know what I'm saying. So you take segment 1, 2, 3, and 4 and dice and put them fools back together, and you go, huh. Yeah. Speaking of which, everybody out there knows that I got this thing for Riri. Rihanna, she's like my guilty pleasure. Love me some Rihanna. My goodness. I don't understand the young lady sometimes hanging out with these busters and whatnot, these abusers. But, I guess that goes deep into some of those psyche things that happen with young ladies. If their relationship with their father isn't healthy, then they end up doing unhealthy things. Like letting some cat beat on them and whatnot. And I pray for her on that part. But it looks like she might be getting that together, folks. It looks like she's done with the fools, and she's getting ready to get down with some of the big ballers and whatnot. She's dating this new guy. His name is Hassan Jamil. Hassan Jamil is from the UAE, man. The dude got grip. He got change in his pocket. You know what I'm saying? And so they were seen out, her and her new man, with her mama. That's right. She went on a date with her man, but she went escorted. That's right. She went escorted. Let me read the little passage to you guys, and you get it that way. Meet the family. Rihanna brought her mother, Monica Braithwaite, and one of her brothers for a date night with her wealthy boyfriend, Hassan Jamil, a source says in the U.S. Weekly. The foursome had dinner at a new restaurant, Mason's, in Santa Monica on Tuesday, August 13th. So, see, it's pretty recent. That's like less than 4 days ago. We're trying to bring it to you fresh, crisp, quick as I can. Where they dined on seafood and steak while sipping on wine and specialty cocktails. If I had known she was that close, I had to just hang out front with my sign, Rihanna. But anyway, the Barbados native, age 31, and the Saudi Arabian businessman have been linked since July 2017, a month after they were first photographed in Ibiza, Spain, in June of 2017, a source told us. At the time, that the couple had been hooking up for a few months. Hooking up? You don't want to say that in front of mama, do you? Hooking up. Man. But like I say, homeboy is a billionaire. Billionaire. Okay? So she kind of went from little old Chris, Chris over there. This dude made Chris look like he on welfare, The Fendi beauty mogul first dished out about her billionaire beau in an Interview magazine in June 2019 issue, where she got candid about her relationship with Ocean's 8 co-star Sarah Paulson. Man, who cares about that? That's over now. And her quote is, "It's only the last couple years that I started to realize that you need to make time for yourself, because your mental health depends on it." See, she's getting it. She said, make time for yourself because your mental health depends on it. That's why, maybe she wasn't in her right frame of mind when she was kicking it with homeboy, Mr. Chris over there. And now she's starting to get it. Now, I ain't going to knock Drake. He is my boy. I like him all the way from Degrassi. Never made the connection until my stepdaughter made me get it. I'm not married to a mom anymore, but she's my stepdaughter or my daughter, whichever way you want to call that, regardless to the relationship between me and her mom. But she helped me understand that Drake is, the guy from Degrassi. And since I spoke her name, God rest her soul, my stepdaughter's passed away. But at the time, she did explain to me who this cat is. They're one and the same. The kid from Degrassi is Drake. And I like both of them, so it's all good. I wish he had stayed with Drake, but I can understand why she gonna drop both of them fools. She's moved on. I got to calm down on that. The songstress told Paulson, if you're not happy, you're not going to be happy even doing things that you love doing. It'll feel like a chore. She's right. She's a performer. That's who she is. You know, Chris is a performer. Drake's a performer. She's a performer too. You know, and she just wants to be happy. When asked if she's in love with Jamil, Rihanna told Paulson, 44, of course. But that doesn't mean a wedding is coming anytime soon. Maybe she learned from Janet Jackson, you know. Janet Jackson married a very wealthy Middle Eastern man too. And speaking of Janet Jackson, real quick, let me just segue into that for a second. She was married to a guy named Wissam Al-Mana. And she got divorced, as we know. But check this out. Homegirl about to get because they had a prenup type deal going on. And that prenup basically went down like this. Let me see if I can break Janet Jackson's prenup down to you. She was entitled to $100 million if they stayed married for at least 5 years, family sources told the Post. Janet Jackson and Al-Mana announced their marriage in January of 2012, but might have secretly married as early as December 2011. Now get this, y'all. The prenup also called for that $100 million payment to be doubled if they had a child, which became so 3 months ago, you know, after they got married and whatnot, with the birth of their son, Isa. Now, one of the family members had to come on up in there for Janet Jackson and, you know, kind of stick up for her. She said, it looks like a money grab, but it's not about money. A relative of the Control singer Janet Jackson said, she's never in a relationship too long. Her longest was musician Renee Elizondo, and that was for nearly 10 years, from 1991 to 2000. Marriage doesn't agree with her. She doesn't agree with marriage. Well, why did you get married in the first place, Janet Jackson? Or is it one of those things of what have you done for me lately? You know what I mean? So, yeah, back to my girl Rihanna. Maybe that's why she ain't trying to get up there with my man Jamil, you know? She's, like, thinking about what, you know, happened to Janet Jackson and said, I'm going to work with this, but I'm going to keep it, you know, kind of chilly, so it don't get too silly, right? And she said, only God knows that. When they asked her whether she's going to get married to Jamil, Rihanna, she said, only God knows that, girl. The singer said of the possibility of marriage, we plan and God laughs, right? Rihanna did admit that she hopes to become a mother one day, telling Paulson that she wants more than anything to start a family. Oh, man, I can't believe it. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. She want to have a family. So maybe Jamil's going to be that guy. But before her relationship with her son, Rihanna was linked to Drake and had a high-profile relationship with Chris Brown. I don't like Chris Brown. Chris Brown is violent. But a guy with whom she's still in touch with. Despite their tumultuous past, Brown, age 30, pled guilty to physically assaulting the Grammy winner in 2009. Chris and Rihanna continue to be in frequent contact with each other. What is that? Is that like the Helsinki syndrome or something? I mean, I know you're supposed to forgive people, and I know you're supposed to make it all right, but I'm going to tell you something, and this is coming from my own personal life. You can forgive people and still not have a damn thing to do with them. Okay? So I don't know what Rihanna's doing with that. Maybe she still got, you know, she run 100 miles, and she still got one to go in the mental health department. We'll see. Stay tuned. A source told the U.S. magazine, they told him that in November, that they are extremely supportive of each other's projects. There's a lot of history between the two of them. Rihanna is aware that there will be concerns about her friendship with Chris, but she can handle herself. Now, we'll see. You know, I'm going to tell you, unless it's a very rare situation, and it's got to be rare, some of these cats that are used to laying their hands on you, that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? Don't think, oh, it's a one-time thing. No. It can be. Don't get me wrong. It can be. But 9 times out of 10, it ain't no one-time thing. You know, them cats be coming at you. But now, when you think that Rihanna and Janet Jackson just might be gold diggers, let me bring you up to speed on something right quick, okay? Janet Jackson is worth, oh boy, what is she worth? $190 million. Now, granted, she gonna double that because she getting $200 million as a prenup agreement. But the girl was worth $190 million on her own, and she ain't done performing yet, so she's still cooking with hot grease. You know what I'm saying? She got her own. So I don't know. I don't know, if you can call them gold diggers. Let's see if we can get away with Rihanna being a gold digger. Let's see. No, because she's worth $260 million. She's worth $250 million on her own. So I mean, maybe they just dating within their ranks. When you look up, all they dating lately is billionaires. Maybe Janet Jackson and now Rihanna. Maybe they learned from Tina Turner. Because, Tina Turner was kicking it with the brothers, and one of them put his hands on her, too. And then she's like, what's love got to do with it? You know what I'm saying? So she was done with the brothers. She was done with the brothers, too, and she went off and married some oil billionaire from Italy, some Italian brother. You know what I'm saying? So I'm seeing a strange theme here, man. I mean, the brothers ain't getting much love no more lately, Rihanna's going Middle Eastern. Janet Jackson went Middle Eastern. Is there a trend going on here? Is there something I'm missing? Or is it something that some of the brothers is missing? Y'all better up your game. Or maybe you need to get a couple oil wells here and there. I don't know what you got to do. But it's pretty damn strange, that's the way that works. That you look up and everybody's dating, elsewhere, here, there, and everywhere. And now it looks like Rihanna's off the market too. But, she's doing it right. She had a mom and a brother with her this time. So I guess, that's like the chaperone type of thing, which, honestly, what's wrong with that? People always say, well, Trump's trying to take us back to the old days. He's trying to take us to the past. No, let's use Rihanna as an example. She was out there with Chris Brown. You see what happened with that. Now Drake, I'm gonna give Drake props. I don't think Drake went at her cray cray or nothing like that. I think the man was doing his thing, but there is a lesson for you young ladies to be learned with this. What's wrong with your parents coming with you on the first date? I think that's the most ideal way for a relationship to get started. What do you guys think? Go ahead and chime in on that. Catch me on Twitter at KenWhite4444. Come on to Spreaker. Join, become a member, and there's a cool section down there where you can make your comments. We can get down on that. Go ahead and come on over to Facebook. So many people coming every day. There are a bunch of us over there. So I'm going to ask you all, should we begin to bring family back into the courtship or the early part of a courtship? I think it's a good thing. I think, getting mama and daddy back involved with who their children are going to be meeting and dating. The family is going to ultimately come together at some point. I think my hat's off to Rihanna on this one, and it's a good way to do it. We'll be keeping an eye on that because she's part of Jay-Z's little stable of people, and so things are going to just be going on. 9,000 around here. We need to keep an eye on all of that. And it is time for another station break. Go nowhere. We'll be back for the fourth segment.
I got the rap patrol on the cat patrol. Foes that want to make sure my cash is closed. Rap critics to say he's money cash holes. I'm from the hood, stupid. What type of facts are those? If you grew up with holes in your zap toes, you celebrate the minute you was having dough. I'm like, fuck.
Hey, we're back for the fourth segment of the show, and it's a pretty interesting thing here. I've been trying to tell you throughout the show that, the Democrats are trying to do their business outside of the political system anymore, outside of the judiciary, outside of the norm. They're coming at the population. Because, see, that's what really matters. The hearts and minds of the young people. There's so many of them, and they are the future, and they are a good resource. And they've always been after the minds of our young people. All the way from grade school, all the way up. The insipid, insidious invention of video games ain't helped us a damn. You might think it has, but when you put the combination of a good 40-ounce, a PlayStation 4, and a damn good NFL game in there, man, look, this is like 2 years ago. I was over a friend's house, kicking it and whatnot, and her son and his boys in the living room got the PlayStation 4, got the sticky yicky yicky, the boobity pop, you know what I'm saying? Got the drink going on, and I'm looking up at the TV and I'm like, damn, that's a damn good game. What's up? Who, when did that game kick off? They're like, man, this ain't no game. I'm like, what do you mean? This is a video game, man. The quality, the way it goes on. I mean, these guys even move like the regular characters do and whatnot. And these young people are so enamored with the characters, the brothers with the big braids. And I think, when I look at football anymore, I couldn't understand why some of these guys have such outlandish hairdos and doing it so weird, right? They do it for the money. They do it because now you can't say that that's just some, example of a football player. If you end up with a football player and he's got these big, giant, dookie yellow braids coming out the back of his helmet, or everybody knows who that is. And these kids are idolizing these NFL players. I mean, go over to the NBA, and I call him LeBum, LeBum James. They think this guy's some kind of god. They working us, ladies and gentlemen. They're stealing our kids in their minds, and they're doing it through the video games, the weed. Mike Tyson over here, hats off to the brother. He making $500,000 a month selling his brand of weed. $500,000 a month. You got the NFL doing their thing and all this kneeling and whatnot. I hate to bring it up, but I got to. This week, this week that we're in marks the, and let me make sure I got it right, marks the 3rd anniversary of the first time Colin Kaepernick, or whatever his name is, punk Kaepernick did his kneeling thing. I protested systemic oppression is what he said. This is a quote from Kaepernick, right? Today marks the 3-year anniversary of the first time I protested systemic oppression. I continue to work and stand with the people in our fight for liberation, despite those who are trying to erase the movement. The movement has always lived with the people, Kaepernick said. Now, in the first segment, the second segment, what did I say? What did I tell you about Mazie Hirono? What is coming out of her mouth? Oh, the people know that the Supreme Court is sick. Kaepernick over here saying, my movement has always lived with the people. And now guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The NFL has made a relationship with Jay-Z Entertainment and Sports Representation Company announced Tuesday that they were teaming up for events and social activism. Now see, nobody heard that. Nobody made that connection, right? He's not just going to be doing the halftime shows. They have joined together for social activism. Now, what did I just tell y'all in that second? Well, what have I been telling you during this whole show? The damn show is titled Legislating From The NFL. They getting ready to do something totally funky. Because they know Donald J. Trump is going to win 2020 without a doubt. No doubt about it. The man's winning 2020, which means they're locked out of the political power for at least the next 6 years. So here they go. The NFL teamed up with Jay-Z. So let's just read on a little bit as it's making me sick to my stomach, but I got to bring it to you. First thing I said to Roger was, if this is about me performing at the Super Bowl, then we can just end this conversation now, Jay-Z said. The league plans to use Rock Nation, home to Rihanna, DJ Khaled, and other stars, to consult on and co-produce its entertainment presentations, including the Super Bowl halftime shows. The NFL will also work with Jay-Z's company to help it inspire change initiatives. Change initiatives? You gonna change the NFL any more than it's already been transmogrified in the last 3 years? You ain't learned yet? So I guess those of you who are gonna watch the NFL, you think kneeling was bad. I predict there will be no more national anthem. I predict there will be no more military flybys. I predict the military won't even be welcome there unless you come in civilian clothes. If you wear a military uniform to an NFL game, you'll probably get beat up. That's where we're headed, ladies and gentlemen. I said it. So let's read on a little bit more. Everyone's saying, how are you going forward if Cape doesn't have a job? Now, the minute the NFL, and Mr. Goodell, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you, man. I'm going to start calling you Goodell Merkel. Because you're no different than Angela Merkel from Germany. You just fell over on your back, kicked your heels up, and you just going to let them run roughshod over you, man. I don't know what the hell y'all doing. But now, because Jay-Z gets a job, look at this mindset. Jay-Z gets a job, and the first thing out of people's mouths is, well, where's Colin? Are you going to give Colin back his job? So, in essence, it looks to me, ladies and gentlemen, like Goodell has now unofficially dubbed Jay-Z the commissioner of the NFL. Now, I wonder how long the teams are going to put up with this. I predict some problems. Because there may be some team owners, especially the Patriots, let's keep it real, especially the Patriots, they may not be feeling this. This might not be a marriage so complete. Might end up being like Janet Jackson, you know what I'm saying? Might end up in a divorce with a prenup on it. Jay-Z walks away with a bag full of money and said, well, I tried. But okay, let's go on. Everyone's saying, how are you going to move forward if Cape doesn't have a job? This was not about him having a job. That became part of it, Jay-Z said. We know what it is. Now, how do we address that injustice? What's the way forward? JC says that it's an injustice. What happened to Kaepernick? Man, this is some hot mess here. I'm trying to tell you something. Jay-Z added that the NFL has a huge platform, and we can use that huge platform. Did you hear what Jay-Z said? He knows what's up with the NFL. Huge platform. Add that to Nike. To be honest, I can already tell you why Jay-Z does not want to deal with Kaepernick right now. It's too much power. Cap is over there with Nike being spoon-fed and sitting on the porch. Now Jay-Z has the NFL in his hands. Let me see if I get this right. Isn't Kaepernick dating a woman from the Middle East or a woman who converted to Islam? I'm trying to remember. Nessa Diab. Yeah, Nessa Diab is Kaepernick's girlfriend's name, and she is a convert to Islam. Now my girl Rihanna is dating a guy from Saudi Arabia, and Jay-Z is her boss. And Jay-Z now has the NFL in his hands. Kaepernick has Nike in his hands. Crazy Maisie is trying to chop down the Supreme Court. And it's all because they say the people know. Because the people know what the truth is. Despite, oh my goodness, epiphany, ladies and gentlemen. That's why Biden said that crazy thing he said. Because you talk about a dog whistle, didn't he say, we don't care about the facts, we just want the truth? Oh boy. Now I just stumbled into that one. That's why the Southside Unicorn Show is exactly what it is. We are being worked, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get our handed to us if we don't start connecting the dots. Biden said the same damn thing. He said we don't care about facts. We just care about the truth. And now here's Jay-Z over here. Let me just requote that again so you get it down in your head too, what that man just said. Where's that at? Jay-Z added, the NFL has a huge platform, and we can use that platform. I believe real change is had through conversation and real work, and what better way to do it than where the conversation first took place. They write terribly, so I got to go through it to make it make sense. So he's saying on the 3rd year anniversary, right? Let's bring it back to the NFL where it always has ever been. Everyone's saying, how are you moving forward if Cap doesn't have a job? This was not about him having a job. That became part of it, Jay-Z said. We know what it is. Now, how do we address that injustice? What's the way forward? So yeah, the football season of 2019-2020 is going to be a very interesting season. I'm not looking forward to it at this point. I could read on more. I guess I should. I should go ahead and bust out some more of this on what Jay-Z is saying, because as you notice in this interview, Goodell ain't said a damn thing. Goodell just sitting there on the sideline listening. This man is basically abdicating the NFL to the hands of a select few people. So let's do this right quick. Let's see. Jay-Z has turned down invitations to perform at the Super Bowl, even rapping about it in a song. Rihanna has also turned down the gig. Jay-Z said he is not performing at the 2020 halftime show, which his company will co-produce. And he said he turned down the offer in the past because he didn't like the process. Well, I guess he's going to fix that process. I wonder if Lady Gaga is going to get punished. Because, I did watch that it wasn't the last one, but I watched a Super Bowl halftime, and it featured Lady Gaga. I like Lady Gaga. She's another one of my hidden, guilty pleasures. But the woman did a good show, and it was patriotic. Now, what kind of halftime shows are we going to have since they're going to be doing social justice and we got to revisit some things? I think we're about to get a whole lot of Kaepernick. I think we're about to get a whole lot of nonsense that ain't got nothing to do with the game. Hey, this is the Southside Unicorn talking to my people out there. If it was me, I wouldn't be buying those season tickets right now. I just wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? What are you going to do? You're going to buy a season ticket worth grands on grands on grands just to sit there and watch these fools act a fool? I wouldn't do it. Let's see. You take 4 artists and everyone thinks they're playing the Super Bowl. And it's almost like this interview process, he said. I think the process could have been more definite. More definite? How much more definite than that you being installed in there, right? Maroon 5 headlined this year's halftime show, and when it was announced that Travis Scott was to join as a special guest, reports surfaced online that Jay-Z didn't want the rapper to perform. Jay-Z acknowledged it was true, but he clarified it didn't have anything to do with Kaepernick. Well, they're not getting along too tough, but Jay-Z be running interference for his boy. That's obvious that's what's going on with that. Here's the quote from Jay-Z. My problem is Travis had the biggest year to me last year, Jay-Z explained, and he's playing on stage that had an M on it. I didn't see any reason for him to play second fiddle to anyone that year, and that was my argument. Well. So, Maroon 5 is a world-renowned band. Everybody knows Maroon 5. I like Maroon 5. But because this guy had a good year, Jay-Z didn't want him, quote-unquote, playing second fiddle. He should have finished that quote off the right way. Why not say it the way you really meant it, Jay-Z? You didn't want the brother playing second fiddle to some white boys. So that's how you going to roll, right? That's what it's going to be about, right? Maroon 5 is a world-renowned brand. And let me tell you something, Mr. Man, Mr. Billionaire. If you can't decrease yourself so that others can increase, you ain't nobody. You ain't working from what really matters in this world, which is your honor, integrity, a sense of fair play, patriotism, and being able to be humble. Do you know that word, Mr. Billionaire, ex-dope dealer? You don't, do you? Humble, humility, patriotism. Boy. It's going to be an interesting time this year, ladies and gentlemen. All the way from the Supreme Court, all the way back to the basketball court. The Democrats ain't done yet. They coming at us from a whole different direction, and we better be ready, steady ready, and get on down with it, Betty Spaghetti. So this is Ken White, Southside Unicorn Show on a beautiful Friday. This was yours. It's in the box. It's in the can. Please share, like, retweet, donate. Do these things, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this thing going, okay? We ain't got time to be wasted. It's like, what is it? In fact, today is the 445th day before the election. 445 days, ladies and gentlemen, before we have to select another president. We had better act like the election is tomorrow. That's how I behave. You read my tweets. You see my Facebook page. I'm serious about this thing, y'all. Come on now. Let's get down to business and let's handle some business. Talk to you on Saturday. Thank you for listening. This is Ken White, Southside Unicorn Show, and we are out.